Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something really exciting and I honestly cannot wait. Welcome to episode 1 of the Lovies, which is a romance TBR challenge that I'm going to be doing to try and get my physical romance TBR down to zero in the year of 2026. But before we get into it, so many of you that watch my videos are actually not subscribed to my channel. If you wouldn't mind, would you do me a massive favour and press that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload, and welcome to our crazy little community. So now let's get into the video. So the Lovies, I take no credit for this idea. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do a romance TBR challenge. So I asked my lovely patrons for some ideas as to what I could call this series because my creative juices were not flowing. And the amazing Lizzie, honestly, she is so incredible. She's such a lovely person. She gave me this amazing idea to call it the Lovies and then also to incorporate a rating system. So we're going to get into the details, but first of all, we're going to talk about why. I currently have 125 books on my physical TBR, which is insane. I know there are a lot of people with more, there are a lot of people with less, but it really irritates me that I have so many that I feel like I can't pick up books, new releases, different things as and when I want to, because I have this cloud hanging over my head of how many books I still have on my TBR that I need to get through. So we're going to try and tackle it in 2026. My aim is to try and get it from 125 to 40 books in 2026. Now, 85 books could be a bit of a stretch, but I read about 100 every year. So 85 seems doable. However, I do tend to get a little bit distracted by new releases, things that aren't on my physical TBR, things that are on my Kindle, just loads of different things. And also, obviously, I'm still adding to my TBR because I have a Fairy subscription. So all of these different things mean that 85 might be a little bit of a stretch for physical TBR reads throughout the year, but we are going to give it a go. And the first way that we're going to tackle that is by getting rid of all of the books on our romance TBR. Some of these books I've had since 2022, since I got back into reading as an adult, and we just need to get through them. Some of these romance books are not ones that I would necessarily pick now, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't buy romance physical books anymore unless it was an author I absolutely loved or I was obsessed with the cover. I only really like having series as well, so if it's a one-off book, it's just not something that I want to keep in my collection. So we're going to read these and then we're going to see if I want to keep the books or if I want to donate them or sell them, and we're just gonna try and get these down. And also, my thinking for starting with the romance section of my TBR is that they tend to be easier to read, quicker to read, and so I thought it was kind of like an easy win to get the number down quite quickly. It does mean that all of the other books I have on my TBR, so 101 of them, are fantasy books, and some of them are really chunky. Yeah, the other 61 books that I need to read next year will have to come from the fantasy TBR, and that may also be a bit of a stretch, but we shall see how we get on. First things first, let's go through the rating system that we're going to have for all of the books that I read as part of the Lovies. We're going to quickly go through all 24 books that are going to be included as part of this challenge, but the main focus of today's episode is actually creating the journal spread that we're going to use to track the challenge. So the rating system, let's go through it. Now Lizzie, she's an absolute genius. She was like, why don't you rate them and give them like names for how you felt about the book? Not necessarily a star rating, but 3 different rating categories that I would put these books into so you would know how I felt about them. First one, if I end up DNFing a book, then it's going to be dumped. So the book has been dumped. The second one is if I kind of liked it, but I didn't absolutely love it, then we're going to call it just Friends. And then if I'm absolutely in love with it, we'll call it Besotted. So you know how I'm going to feel about these books based on which of those 3 categories I put the book into. Honestly, Lizzie is a genius. Such a good idea. Such a good idea. And the other thing we're going to do as well is that I have a Discord community. So I have a couple of different tiers on Patreon, and both tiers that are currently on there have access to my Discord community. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a channel in the Discord so that all of the other members can also partake in this challenge and they can do their ratings in exactly the same way. So we basically all are going to be part of the Lovies. So I'm super excited about that. I've also realised I'm very handsy today. I'm very excited about it. I talk with my hands a lot anyway, but today we're excited about the Lovies. Right, let's go through the 24 books that are going to be part of this challenge. I'm going to quick fire go through them because I'm so conscious I do not want this video to to be about a million years long. We're going to start with my current read, which is Wisteria. I am hoping, obviously, that this is going to be the first book that I'm going to be able to tick off in the reading journal once it's done. I do actually have 4 Elle Kennedy books on my TBR. I have The Graham Effect, The Dixon Rule, The Charlie Method, and Girl Abroad. These are definitely not in the right order because I won't lie to you, whilst taking the photo for the thumbnail of this video, I was trying to hold all 24 of these books in one go so I could get a really crazy photo of me holding all of them, and I can't lie, half of the stack fell on the floor. I can't promise you that books were not harmed in the making of this video, but I didn't put them back in order. We have 4 Elle Kennedy books. I am super excited to actually read these because I love Elle Kennedy, although one of her series was a little bit hit and miss for me, but I'm hoping I'm gonna love these ones because The Graham Effect, I can't remember what this series is called. I believe this is like children of one of her other series. Okay, we have Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I am very nervous about this book because it's a paranormal romance, but we're gonna give it a go because I loved her cowboy romance series. We have Never Forget You by Fiona Lucas. I believe this has like the amnesia trope in it. I think that's why I bought it. I bought this ages ago. But yeah, we're gonna give this one a go. We then have this series, which has a teddy hair on it, which is a billionaire romance series, I think. I did read the blurbs of these when I did my bookshelf sort out, and they actually sound really good, so I'm kind of excited to get into a billionaire romance series. Wilder by Rebecca Yarros. We all know that I'm a Rebecca Yarros romance stan. Absolutely love them. It's weird, this is like printed a bit like a indie copy, and so is her other one as well, but her other ones are trad published, so I'm not sure why, but anyway. We then have the first 2 books in the Lakefront Billionaire series, I think this is called. Got Love Redesigned and Love Unwritten. I think the 3rd one is out, but obviously it's not my physical TBR, so it is what it is. I may try and leave series that have further books that are out that I don't have in physical towards the end of the challenge, because then technically, once I've finished, I could just read the ones I don't have on Kindle, and then if I like them, I can buy the physical books to complete the series on my shelves if I want them, but it won't count towards my physical TBR. And then I can just finish the series off because I also hate having too many series in progress. You guys know this about me too. I'm kind of like really type A when it comes to these things, but also have ADHD, so struggle to be type A. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. We then have X's and O's and The Catch, which is book 2 and 3 in this series, which I can't remember the name of, by Amy Lee. I did really enjoy the first book actually. I read that years ago, like 2023 I want to say, and it had plus size FMC rep in it, which I really liked. But it was also a fitness book, which I liked because it was like giving you the impression that you don't have to be a certain picture of body type. Wow, my words are wordsing. To be a fitness influencer, which is great. Oh, this stack is very precarious on the floor. Oh. We then have The No-Show by Beth O'Leary, and this is actually in my... Whoa. This is part of my December TBR, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get this done this month, and this might be the 2nd book that we're able to tick off on the challenge. We shall see. We then have another Rebecca Yarros, and this is Variation. I know nothing about it. I just bought it because it's Rebecca Yarros. Herein lies my problem. Annoyingly, this and Wilder are different styles of indie-looking books that don't match any of her other paperbacks. So I'm like, can't have a really pretty Rebecca Yarros. That's by the by, you don't care. And then last but certainly not least, we actually have the first 5 books in the Addicted to You, I'm going to say universe, because these are separate series, but they're all part of like an interconnected world, I believe, and the characters interlink. Again, I got these for my birthday, I think in 2023. That's how long I've had these, because my dad, no wait, did my dad buy me these for Christmas in 2022 and then my birthday and Christmas in 2023? Probably. That's how old these books are. And annoyingly, the books have been published in different ways. So these have like the more traditionally published yellow pages, these have the white ones, but they're all the same height, which are indie paperbacks. So I'm confused about that, but this is really annoying when this happens because it infuriates me. Anyway, those were the 24 books that are a part of this challenge. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you think in the comments, because I need to know which ones I should start with, which ones I should be more excited about. I definitely want to try and speak about people's opinions on the reading vlogs that are going to be coming for the Lovies. So if you have any opinions of books, let me know, because I would love to include different people's opinions before I start reading the book and then see what my opinion is at the end of reading the book. Does that make sense? If you also would like me to include you guys in picking which of these books I'm going to be reading for specific vlogs, also let me know and I can try and figure out how I'm going to do that. But it would be so fun if you guys could interact with this challenge and be included in the choices that I make as well. So So if you would like that, obviously let me know that as well. So now let's talk about the journal. I have a reading journal that is not my main reading journal because my main reading journal only holds basic information over 3 years of reading. This is sort of like my challenge or like extra reading journal that will just work chronologically until I finish it, and then I'll start another one. I'm obsessed with this. If you have seen, I already did one spread in this for my 26 and 2026 challenge. I am very new to reading journaling in terms of creating a journal. I had a journal for 2025 that I filled in religiously, but it was already created and I could just colour bits in and fill in the information. I'm very new to creating book journals, so bear with me a little bit. I am doing the best that I can with the few resources that I have because I don't really want to buy lots of new things to journal until I know that creating journals is something I can keep up with. Again, ADHD brain, I tend to love a journal, but I give it up. And 2025 was the year I actually stuck to book journaling every single day. But creating them is a whole new ballgame because it takes so much time, so much effort. So we're going to see how I get on before I start investing in loads of different journaling parts. But I am really happy with how my 26 and 2026 journal came out. And to be honest, we're going to kind of go along the same idea for this challenge because it's something that I know works for me and I can create. What we're going to do is we're going to create the spread. I have a designated page here. It's actually going to go over 4 pages, and we are going to print the covers of the books out. We are going to put a little bit of extra information in comparison to the 2026 reading challenge. Now, in terms of supplies, like I said, I only have what I have, and the stuff that I have lives in this box. And basically, I bought all of this when I used to scrapbook photos, and I just bought loads of stickers just to kind of make it pretty. Most of the journal spreads in my journal are probably going to have the same theme because, again, I'm going to be using all the same materials. I'm just going to kind of show you a couple of things that I have, and then we'll get into actually creating the journal spread. So one thing I did buy, especially for this video, was some new stamps. Now these, you have to put on like these acrylic things. So I bought the acrylic things, I bought the ink, although this one doesn't work, which is very annoying. And then I bought these. I don't know if you can see them because obviously it's clear, but there is a star one. However, it is currently drying because I used it the other day to put the stars on my 26 and 2026 one. But this also has sort of like the headphones, e-reader and book. So I'm going to use those to create something underneath the book covers. So I'm going to put a star rating, but then I'm also going to use this started and finished date. So again, I can put the start and finish dates in, and then I'm going to put these 3 format stamps underneath, and I will colour the one that I use or the couple that I use because I have a tendency to use up to all 3 formats in one book when I'm reading it. That's just how I like to read. So yeah, I thought it would be interesting to put that on as well. Again, we're going to keep it simple because I don't want to overcomplicate it. I went a bit crazy and bought loads of washi tapes a few weeks ago. So washi tape will obviously feature quite heavily. And then I just have this, okay, yeah, don't judge me. I use my iPhone box to organize all of these. I have like all of these cute like naturey stickers and loads of butterflies and like flowers and things like that, and there are tons of these in here. Can't even show you how many there are. We'll be using these quite heavily. I do have a couple of like other stickers and other little bits, but there isn't really an awful lot in this box, even though it looks like there is. I do have these stamps. They're like alphabet stamps that I got from the works, which are really cheap, but I don't think we're going to have space to do anything like that. I'm going to try and create a really pretty title by hand using my acrylic markers. Fingers crossed, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you that although it looks like there's a lot in this box, there isn't actually a lot in terms of the stuff I have to make these things, other than a significant amount of stickers and washi tapes. But again, I just really wanted to kind of hit home that in order to do this, I don't think you need a lot of material. Like, I literally just have like random Pritt sticks, and these are sponges that I bought for like £2 the other day to clean my ink off. I've got like a corner rounder. Again, I think this was like £2 from the works. You don't need a lot of things. I have some of these little books that have little things in, but again, these don't really work for my reading journal. These are more kind of like junk journaling type supplies. Yeah, I'm just going to be working with what I've got and we will see what happens. Let's get to doing the journal spread. Okay, so I have kind of planned out what my spread's gonna look like. I have an idea in my head. I don't know how we're gonna decorate it, so I'm just gonna kind of go with it. I did realise that I counted the number of books that I have incorrectly, and when I counted them correctly, I realised they didn't go into the spread the way that I wanted to. So I'm discounting Wisteria because I just finished it and it's fine. So we now have 21 books to go into the journal. I'm just gonna go for it. I am currently listening to The Nightingale on audio, so I'm going to put some music over this and you can just watch me do it. You'll have to bear with the lighting because it is super dark outside and apparently I can't get this room bright enough. Apologies. I finished my journal spread. Oh my god, I am so excited. Right, let me show you. So this is page 1. We have the title. We have the 3 book categories that I have, and then at the end of the challenge I will write in here how many of each category I had. We then have a space underneath each book cover so that we can write which category it will be, so either dumped, just friends or besotted. And then I stamped on some stars, a started and end date, is it, or is it finished? Started and finished date, and then the 3 different formats at the bottom. I will colour in whichever formats I read or listened to the book in. We don't have the most perfect stamping down here. It was trial and error, okay, but it is what it is. I have a good ink which is really black, which is what these are. But I couldn't get all 3 of them because I used one of the blocks to like stamp the whole thing in one go, and I couldn't quite get it to work. But then my other stamp block where it would work has got like really grey ink in comparison. So I don't know. Either way, it worked. And then the second page is just the other 12 books in the challenge. Overall, I am absolutely obsessed. Yes, it's simple. Yes, I probably could have gone like a little bit more over the top with it, but I think it's really effective and I think it's really cute. I am trying my best. I am new to journaling and creating little journal spreads and stuff, stuff, but let me know what you think. And yeah, I am super excited to crack on with this challenge now. I just need to decide which book we are gonna read in the second episode. So out of all of the books that I have on the list, this is page 1 and page 2. Let me know which books you want to see me read in episode 2. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys are as excited about this challenge as I am, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!